Hey, what's up? In this video, I'm really excited. I'm really enthusiastic to share with you some ideas on closing the deal when it comes to making money, as well as in love as well, your love life. Now, before I get started, down below there's this link, and if you do click on it, there's training on what I believe to be the most important part of marketing a product, service, idea online. And that is not only just how to convert, because it is kind of challenging. You gotta know what you're doing, but also what to do after that first sale, which is a lot. Um, Now, one of the best tips I've ever really received just in my own dating and love life is that you really can be as persistent as you want to be, as long as you're not trying to convince. Because once you try to convince, egos get involved. And it kind of just doesn't end up good. There's like an argument, and it's just not the goodest thing to do. For example, say you're out someplace at a club or whatever, and you want to take a girl home. You could be like, well, let's get out of here. We can always come back later. And she might come up with some excuse like, well, I don't want to ditch my friends. I got my friends here, yada, yada, yada. And she could be saying that for a lot of different reasons. One is she just doesn't want to sound or be perceived to be like a slut, or whatever, but she doesn't want to go home with you. But she has to air it out there or whatever to make herself feel good. So a good idea would be just go like, agree with her. Yeah, yeah, you're probably right. And just wait 5 minutes. And if you try again, the second time, you're more likely to succeed. The chance kind of goes up. Um, so it's a really good idea to try that. Because, getting her alone really is everything. It really does help. Now with sales, I'm reading this book called The Way of the Wolf. I just finished it by Jordan Belfort. It's a really good book. Jordan Belfort was the guy they made the movie The Wolf of Wall Street about. Say what you want about him, but he is a great salesperson. He is. And I did phone sales before I went into the internet, and I was kind of taught something kind of similar to him, his system. Um, but say you want to use this in money, right, to make money and sell a product or idea. The first objection, like say somebody says, I want to talk to my wife, think about it, yada, yada, yada. What he recommends, and I think it's a great idea too, is just to sidestep it. And this is how he does it. Okay. Uh, he'll say something like, well, I hear what you're saying, Bill, but let me ask you a question. Does the idea make sense to you? Do you like the idea? And if they say yes, then you just simply ask for the order. Okay, great. Did you want to get started with a debit or credit card? Boom. Uh, a lot of times people like to voice things just so they don't come off as a pushover, just or whatever. Kind of like the anti-slut meter, right? Just to throw it out there. I know since even with myself, sometimes I'll be already ready to buy, but I just have this thought and I just want to throw it out there just for the heck of it, just to voice it. Makes me feel good. Do you ever feel that way yourself? I don't know. I do sometimes. Uh, Now, say the person voices it again. Now, when it comes, I'm talking about money here, right? When with women, it's a little different. I think it's probably a good idea is just kind of get her interested more in the mood. um, and I would love to talk about that, but this video will be way too long. So I just want to focus more on making money right now and it's closing the sale. Uh, when I did phone sales, there are really two reasons people don't buy that I was taught. It makes sense to me. They either don't have the cash, or two, they're just skeptical of everything. Um, and Jordan has something very similar. What he uses, and he talks about in his book about someone needs to be certain about three things: certain about you, certain about the company, and certain about the product. High level of certainty in all three. So for money, again, I want to focus on this, not love, romance, but what I would do is say that, if I was thinking that they didn't have the money, and there's ways you can kind of somewhat read that or whatever. I would say something like, if I could show you the way to get started without you taking a penny out of your pocket, would you like pull a trigger today or something like along those lines? And they say yes, then I would say, well, by using your credit card, yada yada yada, and I can show you a way to get started without you risking anything, blah blah blah, or taking a penny out of pocket. And now with skepticism, it's very similar that I was taught to say, and I was, well, if I could show you a way without you, to get started without you risking a nickel, would you, you know, get started today? And if they said yes, then I go, well, we got this money back guarantee, yada, 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 yada. So you're kind of helping them solve their problems that they have. And that's kind of what I was taught was closing was about solving people's problems and stuff. Now, it's a big difference. The key is someone has to be really interested. So there's a lot of work in the prospecting side too. And Jordan goes over that. He has this about, sell me a pen. And it's like, well, you first got to ask, are you in the market for a pen? And they go, no, I don't care about a pen. And it's like, well, okay, well, have a nice day. Why am I, don't try to teach pigs to talk because you frustrate yourself and confuse the pig, right? You can't force it. Anyways, another tip which he talks about, which we did too when I did phone sales, is you start off with the largest order, and then you work your way down to reduce the risk for someone if they're not still don't want to pull the trigger. We had 3 packages, so we'd start off on the top and then we kind of work our way down. Jordan has a pretty interesting closing strategy as well. What he comes up is what he says with the second objection, you have to pretty much address it and deal with it. And he'll say something like this: I hear what you're saying, Bill, but let's just say that I've been doing this for quite some time. And if it's one thing I've learned is when people say they're going to think about it, talk to their wife, call you back, what ends up happening is that they end up putting the idea in the back of their head and deciding against it, not because they don't like the idea. In fact, in your case, I know that you actually do. But the simple fact is that we're both very busy people, and you go back to your busy life, end up missing out on this. And I don't want to see that happen to you. Okay. In fact, let me just say this. One of the true beauties of the situation right now is that Microsoft is on the cusp of blah, 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 blah. And just like that, he trains you to go back, transition back into the sale where you'll pick up right where you left off, building this like airtight, logical case and emotional case, which he calls looping, which makes a lot of sense because you need logic and emotion. Now the logic part is, that's easy one to figure out. The emotion one's a little bit more of a challenge. He does some interesting ideas on that as well. Yeah, and you want that certainty in all 3 things. The logic part, the logic about you, the company, the product. There are 2 other tools that Jordan uses, which I'd love to go over, but this video would be just pretty long. The one is reducing someone's action threshold and hitting them with their pain points, which are both very good ideas. And you learn someone's pain points through the prospecting side by asking them questions, and the proven fact is us humans, we're just lazy. So people are more motivated by not going through pain than by gaining pleasure, just the way it is. The action threshold, what that means basically is every time we make a decision, in our heads, we kind of go through the worst case scenario, what could happen, and the best case scenario that can happen. And everyone kind of has different thresholds on that, which I believe, I agree with that. Like, for example, if you've been screwed over a lot, you've gotten through some bad decisions, or people screwed you over a lot, your action threshold is going to be pretty high. You're going to be kind of hesitant to kind of pull the trigger on stuff. You're like, well, I've had some bad stuff happen to me. I don't know. And like some people, if they've gone through a lot of good experiences, they just pull the trigger very quickly. They're just like, okay, yeah. They're more positive. They think about the positive stuff. The negative stuff, it's no big deal. We'll just pull the trigger and go with it. And there's ways you can kind of reduce that action threshold, reducing the risk, like the money back guarantee. It reduces the risk. It lowers that threshold, maybe not all the way, but it does reduce it. So that's one where he talks about. But I kind of plan on making another video too, talking more about this. But anyways, I just want to kind of share a couple things I learned with you. I know people's attention spans are not as long as they used to be. Thanks to the internet and all the crap that we could click on. So anyways, I hope you liked this video. If you did, just hit the thumbs up button. You can share it too. If you're interested in marketing online, whether it be affiliate marketing, drop shipping, or whatever, like I mentioned earlier, one of the most valuable skills you can learn is really how to convert that attention into an actual sale. Because in all honesty, that's what everything comes down to. It doesn't matter how many views you get on YouTube or how many fans you get on a Facebook page or followers you get on Twitter or whatever, if you can't, like, make a sale. And that was my biggest problem going forward in the past with my history. Is I had another YouTube channel. I was in the health niche, and it was very successful, lots of views, millions of views. But I just didn't know what the hell I was doing, and I was kind of fumbling around, and I left a lot of money on the table. And I didn't really even make that much money because of that. So I highly encourage you to learn that skill set from people who are really good at it, because then that's the number one skill set really to learn online. It really is. And then you can work your way backwards and figure out what industry you want to go into. Like, oh, I'm really passionate about this, and you can share it with people. And traffic's the last thing you really should be worrying about. Um, but just my thoughts. If you're interested, you can check it out. Again, don't do what I did. Don't like spend a bunch of energy on traffic and waste a bunch of time and energy if you don't know that process of how to convert that attention into sale. And again, after you make that first sale, that's really where the work kind of starts. And that's the truth. And a lot of people don't really talk about that, but that is. Okay. So just check it out. Click the link below, and I wish you the best. Take care and bye.